Today's episode of Necronomipod is brought to you by Beardology. There are a lot of imitators out there, but there's only one place I buy my beard oil. Beardology beard oil nourishes your skin and won't leave you with that greasy feel. With over 17 cents available in their extensive product line, I trust my beard to Beardology. You can find Beardology at beardology.co. Use code NECRO15 to receive 15% off your purchase. Beardology. Discover the best way to avoid the shave. On today's show, we complete our two-part series on the Children of God cult. We'll discuss flirty fishing, a borderline prostitution ring that David Berg set up as a recruitment tool to gain more followers. We'll also discuss the supposed messiah of the cult, Karen Zerbe's son, Ricky Rodriguez, who Berg chose as the prophet who would lead the Children of God against the Antichrist. The amount of abuse that Rodriguez would sustain during his time in the Children of God would eventually amount to more than he could handle. And finally, he decided to seek revenge against his abusers. Also, it's the return of the fuck schedule. I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. If you're a fan of fishing and loose women, stick around. In part 2 of this sordid tale, the red snappers jump on your rod with no bait required. This is Necronomipod.
Anyhow, I guess we'll see what happens. I hope y'all keep going. Whoever watches this video, I hope that, I hope for one, it helps to understand a bit where I'm coming from. But I started seem laid back right now, but Jesus Christ, anger does not begin to describe how I feel about these people and what they've done. Rage. I get livid. Just that's a little closer to me that I feel.
I just want to say I hope that all of our masturbating fans were chanting Monk Dave's directed Jesus chants while they were masturbating all week.
What was that one quote?
I don't know. Something why I feel you inside.
Because if you're masturbating for Jesus.
This one cracked me up. Sexier than I ever dreamed. So handsome, so naked, and so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus. That's outrageous. Jesus was not meant to be talked about like that, right? It's not what it's supposed to be.
That's not what I want to think about when I'm masturbating, right? I'm not going to talk about Jesus and his handsomeness and his hardness.
Not normally. But if you want to, that's fine.
Sure, that's, we left you the simple rules for how to jerk off to Jesus per Children of God cult, David Berg and Karen Zerbe.
If you choose to do that and be one of the 144,000 people that gets to heaven, then bravo to you. That's all on you.
And if you have not heard that episode, we highly suggest you go back and listen to the Children of God Part 1 that we released last week.
Well, and also, what are you doing listening to Part 2?
Some people just like to play their most recent episode, Dave. Maybe there's a new listener out there.
Okay.
And they're like, let me see what they're all about. You're welcome to keep listening, but you might be a little lost. I recommend you go back, listen to Children of God Part 1. We're about to get into Part 2.
It's good advice, Mike. Good advice.
Ian, so where did we kind of leave off here with this?
So last week we ended with flirty fishing, which is the most infamous aspect.
It's what they're
of this
known
cult.
for.
Yeah. So let's jump right into flirty fishing. It was a form of religious prostitution, citing Matthew verse 19, quote, "Follow me, and I will make you the fishers of men."
It's a loose interpretation.
Reading that, my mind doesn't go to, I'm going to go bang people to spread the word of Jesus.
Sure.
Nope.
So starting with women in the inner circle, David ordered them to go out and pick up men, seduce them, and bring them back into the cult afterwards. David said they should not let self and pride stop them, that their bodies had already been bought through the crucifixion of Jesus. And this was their way of paying him back.
Interesting point of view.
Yeah. And there was no pretending. These women knew exactly what they were doing, and they called themselves hookers for Jesus. And there's a lot of artwork out there promoting the hookers of Jesus stuff.
So will we be having a Hookers for Jesus Necronomicon shirt available on the website for purchase?
I would
be all for that.
Yeah.
We'll put that maybe in the future category.
Oh, all right.
I don't know if we're going to have that
great.
available right now. We might get to that point. If you are willing to buy a Hookers for Jesus t-shirt, hit us up, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, let us know. That one might be a made-to-order type situation.
I love the artwork with that cool comic artwork.
It's great.
Have a mermaid with a hook through her. That's
I know. I believe you. I'm just trying to picture this on a t-shirt that we're going to fucking sell out there.
We can try and put it on Instagram and not get knocked off because it's all nudity.
I think we would very much. Instagram is fucking bitches with some of that stuff. I know a bunch of people that had they post pictures of artwork with nudity and they get booted off.
Yeah.
The accounts don't. The pictures get booted.
Right.
So I'm not trying to get us blocked on there.
So, and then, we said too in part 1 that David would justify all this shit by citing Titus chapter 1, verse 15, quote, "To the pure, all things are pure." So you can just do whatever the fuck you want because you're pure.
If you give your life to the Lord, you can do no wrong.
Yep.
Sounds good to me. Sounds like I get a peanut butter sandwich out of it.
No jelly.
Terrible.
Flirty fishing was closely controlled by David, and in a Mo letter, he detailed the 7 F's of flirty fishing.
Most of which of these do not even start with F's.
No.
But he's a drunk fucking old piece of shit.
Yep. Just super hammered out here making this up.
Drinking boxed wine.
Not even using a cup. Just literally straight pouring into his mouth from the box. Fucking Franzia.
So the first F is effective. In the first 4 years, David said that they attempted to flirty fish 400,000 people. They only had sex with 63,000, and half of those people stayed in the cult. So
Still scary numbers.
it's not a bad turnaround.
30,000 people.
Scary numbers.
The second F was effective. It's the same idea as the first one.
Because if you fuck them and they join, you were effective.
Effective.
I get what you're doing there.
See what I did?
It's nice.
I can run a cult, I think.
Fruitful. Do it as much as you possibly can with as many people as you possibly can. Efficient. The goal would be to do it with people that would benefit the cult.
It's like rich people.
Yeah, well, that's his next one. Financial. Make your sex skills so great that at the very least they will make a donation to the cult. So they might not stay, but at least get some money out of it.
I don't want to join your cult, but you suck my dick so good that I'm going to write you $1,000 check.
Yeah.
That's just paying a hooker.
Official. Make sure you have sex with any influential people should the cult come into any legal trouble. So go find
called
some lawyers.
bribery.
Yeah. And then forever. So in the first 4 years of flirty fishing, 300 children were born into the cult because birth control and pulling out was not allowed.
That's nice.
And these kids were known as Jesus babies.
That's sweet.
Karen Zerby was the first flirty fisher, and her first successful fish was a man from London that David named King Arthur in a series of 23 Mo letters titled King Arthur's Knights, the Night Crawlers. He was all about this King Arthur, dude.
Fucking 23 Mo letters about this dude that Zerby banged that who just happened to be from London.
Did he tag team her with any Knights of the Round Table?
No.
Well, maybe you should read the Mo letters, Dave.
Yeah.
Let's not give any spoilers away here. God damn, pal.
Yeah, he was all about this King Arthur guy. He always called him sexy. So,
What was his fascination with this guy?
I guess he just enjoyed him banging his wife.
Or he just
Because Karen Zerby was his wife.
Well, sure,
yeah,
but she was banging everybody at this point. Why this guy?
I don't know. King Arthur had something special about him.
Wouldn't from Camelot, Sir Lancelot have been a better one? Sir Lancer-a-lot?
What, did he get 23 Mo letters written about him, Dave? I don't think so.
And the Mo letters are long. They're long as fuck. So He got 23 of them.
What else does this guy have to do all day? He's writing Mo letters.
So David started the initial thing after Karen Zerbe was successful with it was around a group of 20 men and women before he put it out into the general population of the cult. The men were called catacombers, and they were not supposed to say that they were in a cult when fishing, and their goal was to bring in underage girls, which is...
That's healthy.
Yeah.
Did Chris Hansen catch any of these motherfuckers?
Can you imagine Dateline NBC To Catch a Predator, Children of God episode?
So, I see you brought some chocolate chip cookies and some condoms with you. Why don't you have a seat? What are you doing here tonight?
The best is when he tells them to leave and then he tells them to take the stuff with them. And they're walking out with their fucking Taco Bell. And then the cops just tackle their asses to the ground and arrest them. I love To Catch a Predator.
I was just coming to protect her because...
I just came to warn her about the dangers of talking to people online. Do you have condoms on you? Well, yeah. I always keep them on me.
That's great.
We watched the South Park episode, didn't we? Why don't you have a seat?
Yeah.
How does he keep doing that?
So because no protection was allowed in the cult, it just became a breeding ground for sexually transmitted diseases. But David assured the followers that it wouldn't be an issue, writing, quote,
"Can you trust God? You won't catch anything, including a germ or a sperm. Even if you do, he will keep, heal, and help you to bear all things."
Oh boy. I have some of his drafts when he was, wordsmithing this. It was before he came up with the germ or sperm. He said, "You won't catch anything, including a cold or a cooch full of mold. You won't catch anything, including the flu or a mouthful of goo. And you won't catch anything, including an itch in your jockey or a face full of bukkake." Some of those were the early drafts before he settled on the final version.
He should have been or he should have been the attorney for O.J. Simpson with those rhymes.
Face full of bukkake.
So these once he put this out to the general population, all the compounds were required to fill out very detailed reports on flirty fishing and mail them to the Children of God location in Italy.
In Italy.
They even began to issue monthly publications ranking the flirty fishers of the month.
Did they get bonuses?
The FOM, Flirty Fishers of the Month Club.
At the same time, the idea of sexual sharing was introduced to the general population, and this made it a requirement for all members to have sex with each other, including family members and children.
And we're off to the races.
Yeah, this is where it gets pretty ugly. In one of the most infamous Mo letters titled, "The Devil Hates Sex, but God Loves It," just titles, David would justify everything to his followers.
"There's nothing at all in the world wrong with sex as long as it's practiced in love. Whatever it is, whoever it's with, no matter who or what age or what relative or what matter. I'm talking about natural, normal, godly love as manifested in sex. As far as I'm concerned, for whomever. There are no relationship restrictions or age limitations in his law of love. But the system laws make it all against the law. And if I tell you what I think, I'd probably break the law publishing it. Wow. The system really stinks."
Yikes. Yeah. Well, he just said there's no restrictions in the age limitations.
Yeah,
so
we're talking.
There you go, fella.
Yeah, it's really going off the rails. David also started to require that women and young girls send him pictures and videos of them dancing naked in what he called glorify God in the dance.
Yeah.
Not everyone went along with this stuff, especially as children born into the cult got into their teen years and realized that this is not natural. It is not natural to fuck your family members.
How do you think those teens realize that, though? Like living in a
great
community
question, right?
Where it's very normal and natural.
But I think,
quote, unquote. How did those teens start to realize like this is fucked up?
I think it.
Like, are they getting exposed to outside media at all? Like, are they having television?
Well, not really, but I feel like at least for some, because not all of them went against the word of this
Right.
shit, but I
like the
feel
ones-
like you would generally, there's something in you, the human, that would be like, I shouldn't be fucking my mom
And
right
maybe
now.
maybe that's what it is. It's just natural
Maybe it
instinct.
is.
Yeah.
And then when you get like 4 or 5 of them together saying like this is fucked up, they're like, yeah, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
Good for them.
So when kids didn't go along with things, they were sent to quote, teen training. And teen training would take places in secluded areas where they would be subject to public beatings, being tied to their beds at night, and public humiliation. But the just like most disturbing punishment was an elastic device that would go around your ears and attach to the corners of your mouth that would just physically force you to smile, and they called this the smile machine.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
And terrifying.
Yeah. In 1978, David organized a major purge of those members that were not on board with all the incest and child molestation. And that same year, Jim Jones would lead the People's Temple to the mass suicide that would cause the major backlash towards cults and fringe religious groups. So to get the heat off the Children of God, David faked the disbanding of the cult and renamed it the Family of Love. But
For the record, Jonestown episodes available in our archives, all 3 parts.
Yep.
If you want to hear that story.
Mr. Muggs in part 1, part 2, and part 3.
The hero of the entire story.
Just because I feel the need to talk about Mr. Muggs in every single episode from this point forward.
But by the time that they rebranded it the Family of Love, the Messiah of their cult was already born, named Ricky Rodriguez, also known as Davidito.
What does that name mean?
I don't know. I think David Berg just made it up.
I feel like it's got to mean something. I'm looking.
Okay.
I'm Googling it.
Is it like David plus Judge Lance Ito? Lance Ito from our celebrated O.J. Simpson episode, available on iTunes, Spotify, Castbox, Stitcher.
The Dancing Itos.
The Dancing Itos.
When you Google Davidito, anything that comes up is just Children of God stuff.
I'm pretty sure he just made it up.
Yeah.
I think he just took his name and added Ito to it. And,
Okay.
So in 1974, while David and Karen Zerbe were still experimenting with flirty fishing, Karen Zerbe reported that she had sex 137 times with 18 different employees at a hotel that they were staying at in Spain.
Hashtag gangbang.
Spoiler alert, she got pregnant, and she randomly claimed that one of the waiters named Carlos was the father.
Poor fucking Carlos. Like,
She just picked
she
him out of
No.
No. He's one of 18
This guy's just trying to
guys.
make a living, working in a hotel.
Right.
Happens to fuck some American woman.
Yeah. In Revelations, it said that in the end times, there'd be 2 prophets who would rise to defeat the Antichrist. David interpreted this as the prophets being Karen and Ricky Rodriguez, which
Not Ricky Ricardo from I Love Lucy.
No.
Okay.
No. And not Richard Ramirez.
Okay. The Screen Door Killer?
Yeah. Screen door intruder.
Screen Door Intruder. Apologies.
The screen door intruder is a lot less aggressive. Also available in the archives, the Richard Ramirez episode.
Great episode.
Let's plug all our shit while we're at it.
Ricky Rodriguez being the one of the prophets came from David's obsession with the number 7. When Ricky was born, he weighed 77 kilos. Ricky was born in the 7th hour of the 7th day. Ricky was born on January 25th. 2 + 5 = 7. And the bill at the hospital after his birth came to $7,000.
All right. Numerology is one of the dumbest fucking things ever.
Yeah,
I don't disagree, but mostly because I suck at math and I hate numbers.
Even though David was not Ricky's biological father, David said that he was his spiritual father, not his, quote, flesh daddy.
That's what I make my wife call me, Flesh Daddy.
These terms just like fucking...
Flesh Daddy.
It's just ridiculous. Flesh daddy is what he called Carlos.
Poor Carlos, just some fucking drunk broad he banged at the hotel one night. Now he's in this cult, weren't doing all this bullshit.
Well,
It's not even, they didn't even know it's his kid. Like, he
Right.
literally just got bicked.
Yeah.
He might have been walking by with room service at the fucking wrong time. And fucking Karen Zerbe's like, that's the guy. He put it in me. They don't even know. He might not even been one of the 18 dudes to fuck her.
True.
well, that would be some shit if he wasn't even one and he was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean,
I don't know that white devil.
Yeah. I'm sure there was no testing going on.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, and talking about poor Carlos here, this is just absolutely sick. This story that I'm about to go into was included in a Mo letter titled "Life with Grandpa."
I bet this is a doozy.
Oh, boy.
Carlos was greeted at the door of this hotel room by David and told that he was the father of the new prophet. Like, he just envision this as your Carlos. So this fucking old creepy guy answers the door and says, "You're the or you fathered the new prophet."
Si, senor. Yeah.
Then David poured everyone a glass of wine and said, "Let the sharing begin." David tried to get Carlos to molest his supposed infant son and have sex with Karen Zerbe at the same time in front of him. It's absolutely disgusting.
So he actually put this in one of these letters?
Yes. He wrote this out.
Woo.
And naturally, Carlos was just like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And
Like any normal, rational person would get the fuck out of that situation.
yeah.
Do you think he announced it like to the whole room? Like Bruce Buffer style? Like, let's get ready to share our wives! Let's get ready to molest a newborn son! Like, this whole scene in this room is ridiculous.
Yeah. And if I'm Carlos, I'm probably thinking like, bitch, I didn't even fuck you. What are you trying to say? I'm like,
Who are you?
yeah, why am I here?
I don't know.
Let's get ready to get the fuck out of this room and never look back.
I just...
Good for Carlos getting the hell out of there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
So he related in the Mo letter that Carlos was like, yeah, fuck y'all, and retreated from the room immediately.
Yeah.
Probably so he can make himself look like the hero, though.
Yeah.
You know, he ran away from his responsibilities or whatever gimmick he wanted to write up.
There's not much hero when you're talking about molesting a infant.
Well,
but,
I mean,
yeah.
What the fuck? It's just a side note. It's July 16th, and someone's still shooting fireworks off outside.
Yeah.
On a Tuesday night. Well, if you're listening to this, it's Sunday, so ignore that.
So,
Spoiler alert, recorded this on a Tuesday.
also in this Mo letter, which was illustrated and extremely graphic, David explains to Ricky why he is brown and not white, and Berg said,
God just used Carlos only to fuck mama so that I could have you. He was just like an instrument or tool that Jesus used to help create you for his kingdom. Praise the Lord. A penis is like a plow, and a woman's womb is like a furrow, and a man plants his seed. I am like the farmer, and you are like my little crop.
Let's get ready to harvest Ricky Rodriguez.
you know, we've done our fair share of joking and laughing about this stuff, but this is where this takes a really, probably the sickest thing that I've ever read.
Yeah, it's horrific.
Yeah,
The whole rest of the story.
Yeah. So for the first few years of Ricky's life, they detailed pretty much every day, or a lot of days, just basically everything that was going on in his life. It totaled 762 pages and was titled "The Story of Davidito." It's not really covered in in a lot of documentaries about children of God, and I think it's one of those things that is just so bad.
Yeah.
People just don't want to touch it.
And vile, but it's a huge part of this story, and it's a huge part of understanding Ricky Rodriguez as a person, and I think it's just...
Well, I think what's unusual is that they committed these crimes to paper and actually put it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they tried to scrub this shit, and
Who does that?
Yeah. So it was originally published to the cult in 1982, but was later heavily censored once they realized that people could document this and charge them with child abuse, and they didn't take into account that the internet would come along.
Yeah.
So trying to scrub it makes it even fucking creepier because they have lots of pictures in there of Ricky Rodriguez nude with other nude adults, like obviously not appropriate at all, but then they covered it up with these creepy ass drawings of smiley faces. It's
So you couldn't identify the adults.
right. But they all said like, oh, there's nothing wrong with this. This is natural. Well, if it was natural, then why are you covering your face after the fact? So the Story of Davidito was supposed to be a manual on how to raise a child. And just to give an idea how many people followed this book and believed that Ricky was the prophet, in 1978, the cult claimed 8,000 members living in 228 compounds around the world. In 1983, a year after this book was released, the members of the cult reported 746 births within the cult.
That's huge.
Yeah. Ricky, who was often called the Brown Prince, was given as the example of a perfect child and how to perfectly raise a child. Because Karen Zerbe was so busy with the day-to-day functions of the cult, because at this time, too, David Berg's health was kind of declining, so Karen Zerbe was pretty much running things.
Because he was old at this point.
Yeah. Most of the child care was done by Sarah Kelly, otherwise known as Sarah Davidito, and Angela Smith, otherwise known as Sue Calton. These two women were David's, like his elite flirty fishers. Sarah had been in the cult since the age of 18 and was so far gone into this lifestyle that she would freely offer her 7-year-old daughter to David for sexual purposes.
Jesus.
Fuck her.
Yeah. Sarah's complete lack of sexual boundaries would be further detailed in the Story of Davidito, where she began to molest Ricky at 17 months old. And here's an example of the writings in the book.
He gets quite excited when I wash his bottom and his peenie gets real big and hard. I kiss it all over till he gets so excited he bursts into laughter and spreads his legs open for more. I wonder what it's going to be like when he begins to talk and ask me for more.
Oh, boy.
God. That's uncomfortable to read. Like,
Yeah.
I feel dirty for even reading that.
Yeah, reading the Story of Davidito is
17 fucking months old.
Vile.
yeah. So Ricky was raised alongside a girl named Davidita, who was supposed to be, quote, a sexually liberated child.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, I don't know. At the age of 10, Ricky was placed in on the quote sharing schedule, which was basically a sex timetable. Like
It was a fuck schedule,
but he was only 10 years old.
but it was a fuck schedule for everyone in the cult.
Yeah, with adults, children, it's all free reign here.
Well, who ran their fuck schedule? They didn't have Mr. Muggs there.
It's a great question.
Who wrote up their schedule?
So when Ricky was 12, he was given a much older girlfriend named Bonnie. And also in that year, he was forced to have sex with his own mother, Karen Zerbe.
Oof. What does that do to you?
Do you think that was because
Jesus.
David Berg never had sex with his mother, so he was trying to get
Maybe.
Ricky
yeah,
over that
sure.
hump?
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Maybe.
If he was even still kind of calling the shots at this point, he might have been tapped out. We don't know.
Yeah, I think at this point, this thing was so far gone and out of control that he probably didn't have much say in a lot of this. It was basically Karen Zerbe and
Just running it all.
yeah, and like I said, it was so far gone at this point. It was just completely out of control. Ricky never had interactions with other kids that weren't being molested and only saw other kids if they went out in public. David Berg, feeling pressure from stories getting out, officially banned sex between adults and children in 1986.
Oh, finally.
I mean, the fact that you have to officially ban molestation is just
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, quit
That's not something that needs to
abusing
be-
your children and
Yeah.
having sex with them.
Yeah.
In 87, flirty fishing was stopped due to the potential spreading of AIDS. And finally, in 1989, they decided that children shouldn't be having sex with each other anymore and banned that.
Oh, revelation.
Wow, look at this. Only 20 fucking years later.
Around this time, Ricky was introduced into the general population of the cult and attended a cult-ran school in Japan. He was described as a quiet and shy kid that just wanted to fit in, but kids were prepped in advance that he was the prophet and was now going to be in class with them, so it was difficult for him to make friends because no one knew how to treat him. I mean, and think of that. He's just a kid, and you've been told that you're the prophet your whole life, and
He's going to
You've
save
also
us
been fucking
all.
molested and abused your whole life.
And that's the thing to kind of keep in mind with this, because the molestation didn't happen in every compound. So
Well, right, and that's what that you had said, that Ricky was kept from the non-molested group. He was
Right.
only around kids that were molested.
yeah,
So he might be now associating with well or better adjusted kids. Better adjusted, maybe not well adjusted.
Yeah.
Better adjusted kids who are now looking at him like, oh, he's the prophet.
yeah,
This poor fucking kid can't win.
right,
He's the one who has to get us to heaven.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, how do you live with that?
yeah,
And he's what, 12 years old?
12, 13.
Oh my gosh.
The one practice that didn't go away were the teen training camps, and the person to receive the punishment the most was David's granddaughter, Mary Berg, who she was the daughter of Aaron, who killed himself. Karen Zerby was afraid that Mary would take her place at the end times to sit beside Ricky, and Karen thought this because David was making Ricky have sex with Mary to have the family line continue with a prophet being the father. Mary was shipped to a teen training camp by Karen Zerby, where she was abused brutally for months, and Ricky's nanny Sarah took part in a lot of the abuse.
So he was having his technically stepson Davidito have sex with his granddaughter Mary Berg.
Yeah,
That's nice.
as kids, they're
Kids.
They're
Yeah,
fucking kids. Yeah, they're
two kids being
That's great.
yeah.
Thanks, David.
So we're going to bring this now into like modern day 90s, I guess, and kind of wrap this story up here with and finally polish off this piece of shit David Berg
Yep.
right after this.
We like to drink beer, a lot of it. After a long night of drinking and talking crime and conspiracies, there's nothing that wakes us up and gets us ready to start the day better than Just Brew coffee. With a great selection of roast levels to choose from, you're guaranteed to find one that suits your style. Small batch roasted to highlight the unique features of each coffee bean, Just Brew coffee caters to both casual and hardcore coffee drinkers alike. Since 2010, Just Brew Coffee has worked tirelessly to perfect the roasting process and technique, which has resulted in seriously delicious, always flavorful, and never bitter tasting coffee. If you're already drinking JBC, raise your mug. If you're not, raise your standards. Check them out in social media, and remember, they roast, you just brew. Check out their new online store at youjustbrew.com and up your coffee game today. Use code NECRO15 to receive 15% off your order of 2 pounds or more.
So, because of being very good at covering his tracks and living in a pre-internet world, David Berg died in 1994 without having to answer for any of this.
One of the most enraging things we've ever talked about.
Yeah.
That motherfucking piece of shit never had to answer for any of this. Any of the lives he ruined, any of these
Yeah.
kids that were abused, all this shit.
And-
Fuck him.
Well, I think the flirty fishing helped out a lot with this because they got they had some high profile people involved, like respectable lawyers and whatever. And I think some of this could be, hey, either you had sex with a minor or you were around when a minor was having sex with an adult, so you're complicit, so help us out here, because he just bounced around the world. And I know Japan tried to do something against them that didn't work out legally, and they just really got away with a lot here.
I mean, not that we can cover all of this, but there's that 2020 video of this mother trying to get her kids back from these clowns in, God, what country was that in?
Did I watch this one?
Yeah, I think it was Thailand, actually. And the husband was over there, and the kids all wanted to stay with him because they were all brainwashed. And it's just sad. You can Google that and watch it, but it was an old...
It's terrible. I mean,
I think it was from the 80s.
They're not fun documentaries to watch.
Yeah.
Terrific.
So after David died, Karen Zerbe married top cult official Peter Amsterdam, and then took complete control of the cult, who at that time was reporting a following of 10,000 people. In 1995, Ricky was sent to live in Budapest, where he was just able to just be Ricky and not known as the prophet.
How old is he at that point?
He was born in 75, so he's 20.
So he's 20?
Yeah.
Free to be me.
But by this point, he's so fucking damaged.
Yeah. Well, he began to...
Even living a normal life, what does that even mean?
Right. He began to open up to people about how he was raised and started to realize that it was just a completely just fucked up situation because other people he was interacting with all of them didn't go through all this molestation stuff. So Karen Zerbe caught word of him talking to people, and he was ordered to move back with her. And she was living in Portugal at the time. And all that freedom that he was allowed to have for a second there was completely taken away. And he was miserable, but afraid to leave the cult due to horror stories about people who left falling into drug abuse, suicide, and other things. Which, I mean, you can see that in the documentary. A lot of those kids are... What's that documentary called?
It's called Children of God, Lost and Found. It's on Amazon Prime. It's
we saw
it's pretty interesting. If you want to check it out.
I mean,
not really a feel-good story.
Well,
It's
no,
not.
But those kids that decided to leave, I mean, they have no life skills, and a lot of them do get hooked on drugs, and the suicide rate is extremely high with people that left, or kids that left, I mean.
They don't have coping skills for the real world.
Right.
And the documentary that won it's the kid that made it. There's several shots of him talking to his mother, who's still in the cult, on the phone, and just the back and forth between them is just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, highly recommend. It's very interesting.
Yeah, if this is something you want to look into more, then check that out.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a Netflix and chill, I don't recommend that.
No. Californication.
Yes.
That's what we recommend for
Fuck,
Netflix.
we talked about that last week. Californication on Netflix. I believe it's all still there. 7 seasons.
It's all there.
It's the best David Duchovny.
Agree.
I'm going to have to watch it.
Yeah.
I don't know if
review next week from Ian.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll beat X-Files, but...
I understand people love their X-Files stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
pretty
This
good.
show is good. I don't watch a lot of TV shows or movies, as we've probably discussed on this. That show, Californication, I think I've rewatched at least 8 or 9 times. Beginning to end, 8 or 9 times. I've rewatched that show over and over again. Love it.
Nailed it.
Motherfucker. It's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. If you like that, you'll like the show.
So the abuse of Mary Berg and what was happening to ex-members that left with the drug abuse and suicide really fueled Ricky's anger toward Karen Zerbe and his 2 nannies, Sarah and Sue. In the year 2000, Ricky finally left the cult with his girlfriend Alexia, and a few months later he wrote an email to a top official saying,
"Some days I've come close to snapping and going back to their compound, but not for a social visit and not for a repentant prodigal, but as an avenger. I don't see why I should have to pay for their sins."
I mean...
It's traumatic to leave everything you've ever known.
Well, and you got to think, too, the story of Davidito was put out to thousands of people, and it's extremely graphic, talking about him being molested and how great it was for the beginning of his life. I mean, you got to think how just embarrassing and demoralizing that would
terrible.
Yeah.
How do you go on from that?
And now that the internet is what the internet is, it's out there for the whole world to read. You know, I mean, it's
Right.
it's
This poor fucking guy.
yeah. Shortly after he sent this email, Ricky moved to Tacoma, Washington, and was looking for work and sleeping on former members' floors until he and his girlfriend could get an apartment. And Ricky eventually got a job as an electrician's apprentice, but just couldn't move past what had been done to him and other kids in the cult. He formed a sense of needing to protect everyone that had been hurt by the cult, more so over his own feelings. And I mean, you can...
Do you think that's part of that whole Messiah mystique that they built up in his head? Like he almost felt like
responsible
for all of this?
Maybe. I mean, if you watch it, he has like an hour-long kind of video manifesto, and he really talks...
It's not pleasant.
No, but I mean, and he talks more about what was done to other people than what was done to him, you know what I mean?
And that's what I'm wondering, like, why did he feel the need to talk more about the other people and protect the other people? Does that have something to do with the fact that he was the quote prophet and Messiah?
I would think so. You probably feel responsibility for all that when you're held up as like the spiritual leader of this whole stupid movement.
Meanwhile, he was 12 years old and getting fucking raped every night and had nothing to do with any of this.
Yeah, I mean, he'd been getting molested since he was 17 months old. Was the earliest in his story. And
there's no way you walk out of that unscathed.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No, and then like I was saying earlier, then it's published for all these members to see, and then when the internet comes around for the whole world to read about what happened to him.
Of course you feel responsible.
So he refused to talk to anyone outside of former members about what happened in fear of being called crazy, because at this time there wasn't really proof. There wasn't like internet proof of what happened to him. So he just let this hate and want for revenge just to fester for years. In 2004, Ricky moved to San Diego by himself, and thinking that there was no legal recourse for what happened, he decided to take it into his own hands. His plan was to track down his mother, Karen Zerbe, and murder her, effectively cutting the head off the snake. He believed that if he killed Karen Zerbe, the whole organization would just crumble.
Which may be true.
Yeah. Could be.
I guess, if you're going to just take out the leader, that would be, I guess, the most obvious thought, to take her out, and then where are they going to go from there?
So Ricky started to contact cult members, faking that he wanted to come back into the cult and find his mother. He eventually found out the Christmas before she had visited her parents in Tucson. So Ricky moved to Tucson to wait it out until she returned. Meanwhile, one of his nannies, Sue Calton, not the one that did most of the abuse, but she did take some part in the story of Davidito, had recently left the cult but was still in contact with Karen Zerbe. Ricky eventually got a hold of Sue and convinced her to come to his apartment for dinner under the disguise that he just wanted to catch up. But really his plan was to hold Sue hostage to find out where Karen Zerbe was.
Do we know why Sue had left the cult?
No. But however she did, she was still on good terms.
Yeah.
The night before their meeting, Ricky set up a camera and recorded a manifesto explaining why he was doing what he was about to do. And like we said before, that whole thing is on YouTube and xfamily.org. And I think it's important to actually, if anybody really wants to get a real full understanding of his situation, I think it's important to watch the whole
if
video.
you want to get the story and his view of things
and his mindset,
it's really, it's powerful.
Because some documentaries, and he wasn't like a huge breaking news story, but it was painted like he was some kind of maniac, that just went off the deep end, and that's not what it was. He made the wrong decision and how to handle this, but he wasn't.
He's just a broken guy.
Yeah, that didn't have any way to deal with it. After recording the video, Ricky sent it to a friend in New Mexico and said, quote, "I found the solution. It's all in the video." And you know, the two about like watching that video, he's like talking about drinking beers and watching scary like horror movies and stuff. Like he seemed like a guy that we would probably hang out with.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
Which is incredible that he can be that well adjusted after all the shit he went through.
yeah. Like he's just like, I'm gonna drink some beers, and I think he says watch White Noise. I think it was a movie. I think so.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm like, I would chill with that. I would hang out with that guy. You know, just it's ridiculous.
Horrible.
So it's not clear about how things went down, but after telling Sue Calton his intentions, he stabbed her 5 times and slit her throat. Ricky then got in his car and drove towards Phoenix, and he called his girlfriend Alexia at 7:15 p.m. and told her, quote, "Killing someone is so much harder than I thought it would be." He also told her that while Sue was bleeding to death, she still didn't understand what she or anyone else in the cult did wrong, which is
Very telling.
yeah. Ricky arrived in Blythe, California at a Holiday Inn at 10 p.m., showered, drank a few beers, and then got back in his car. He drove a couple miles away to a remote location, and just not being able to handle killing someone, no matter how evil they were, he shot himself in the head, killing himself.
At least he had some
Tragic
cool
end.
down beers.
I guess that's the way to do it. It's a tragic end to a tragic story.
Yeah.
And in like what he was planning, and in the video, like what he was planning to do, you have to be a real piece of shit person to want to carry out all these murders that he's talking about doing. And I think it's like what he said to his girlfriend, that it was way harder. You know, I think he was like,
He watched that girl bleed out.
yeah. He's like, this isn't me kind of thing, you know, like
He's too good of a person.
Yeah.
It's crazy how someone can be so sane coming out of this cult.
yeah. And you can tell too, like in the video, he's got all these guns and the knives and stuff. It's almost like like I was reading psychologists talk about when people get abused like that for so long, it's like they view the abusers as like invincible monsters, you know, because I mean, he wouldn't need all that ammo and shit to kill a couple old women, you know. It's like you could tell how he viewed them as. But today, Karen Zerbe still runs the cult, and it's rebranded again as the Family International, and still claims 10,000 members, with Ricky's former nanny, Sarah Kelly, who is responsible for much of this abuse to him. She's still a current member. Both Karen and Sarah have been in hiding since this incident and run the cult from an unknown location, and to this day, no one knows where they are in the world.
And there's still bounties on both of their heads.
I don't think there's any legal recourse to do anything about this at this point. I think it's all circumstantial. And this is the part that pisses me off the most about this whole thing is Karen Zerbe used this incident to her own advantage and opened up RickyRodriguez.com and made him into a martyr. And she made his name into a suicide prevention story, and even went as far as to claim that Ricky would still be able to get into heaven. Like, she painted him as just like some lost soul, whatever. And it's like, no, it's your fucking fault.
Yeah.
You fucked your own son.
There's a bunch of nice pictures of Ricky on the website.
Yeah, it's like this big memorial kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is it's go see the website, but if there's any part that asks like donate money, do not donate money to it, because it's going to fucking go to this Family International probably.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like they and whoever runs xfamily.org that's compiled all this stuff is great, because if someone didn't hold on to all those Mo letters and all this stuff, they could have scrubbed this shit and ran this as, you know, and acted like none of this ever happened.
And there's still just not enough evidence to go after these fucks.
Well, she's in hiding. I think I read the last time anyone knew where she was somewhere in Mexico in 2010, and that's the last anybody has ever even heard of where she is. And a lot of the people up until this happened with Ricky, and like things were on the news and stuff about it, it was kind of like David Berg back in the day. No one even knew what she looked like. A lot of members of this cult didn't even know what she looked like.
How old is she now?
I think 73.
It's not a happy ending.
No.
No. I mean,
and I'm censored from saying what I want to have happen to her. So we'll leave it at that.
The first episode is a lot, we can joke about David Berg saying wild shit about how to masturbate.
Just being a creepy old fucking trying to be hippie and, yeah.
It just, it takes a major turn with all this stuff. So, yeah, that's Children of God.
All right. Not so much a fun cult to join.
No.
We've covered some real winners on this show. Jonestown, Children of God.
This might be the worst.
I think it's the worst. I voted the worst. I think this is the worst topic we've covered yet, personally. And I know we've covered some serial killers who have done some terrible things. This one, I don't know, just hits more for me as the worst.
No, I mean, there's no murder involved here.
I understand, but you're ruining lives. Moving forward, these people are struggling to live with that. I agree. But,
I mean, Ed Kemper was cutting people's heads off and fucking their skulls, so
it's true.
It's all in perspective.
Yeah, I still think this is worse. I think fucking raping a 17-month-old is worse.
Yeah,
Richard Chase took part of a baby's head off in a bathroom.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of that I compare to this. That's the only one. I think when it involves kids, that's when I put it up there. Right. That's whenever I think about like the worst, I think of that scene that we talked about in the archives, Richard Chase episode.
Yeah.
And this, I don't know.
Barney Hill took an alien probe up the pooper.
Yeah, his wife is a crack whore.
The end of this one just irritates the fuck out of me.
There's no end.
There's
nothing's gonna happen.
They're still
to
fucking living and probably living good lives. Meanwhile, they've ruined all these other lives.
Yeah.
This one really pisses me off more than anyone we've discussed yet.
And I don't think, and it doesn't get, at least the Ricky stuff doesn't get covered very much and stuff. Like that one documentary is really good.
And I don't understand why it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just the Davidito stuff is one of those things that's too rough. I don't know, but I feel like it. You gotta at least talk about it to get the full scope of the story here.
Right.
Of course. That's what your hard-hitting journalistic friends at Necronomipod are here for.
Covering the tough subjects here.
Yeah, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
All right, we got anything else on Children of God Part 2 tonight, Ian?
Nope, I'm good.
Dave, you got anything else to add to this story?
No, it's enough of this vile fucking tale. It's awful.
I think I'm ready to move on from this one. I think it's safe to say we're ready for a new subject, something fresh. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram and YouTube at Necronomipod. Hit us up. Let us know what you thought of Children of God. Let us know if you're as angry as we are about it or as I am personally. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for listening.
Yep. You guys ready for a cool down beer?
Cheers.
Might need a multiple after this.